Alrighty, so UFC 320 has concluded, and I got work in the fucking morning, aka in a couple hours, so I'm gonna kinda speed run through this card breakdown. You know the drill by now if you're stopping by. I do predictions every single week. Check out the predictions. I went, I believe, 11-3 on this card. Very good. And one of those don't really count because they're women's fight, and we all know women's fight. We'll get to it when we get to it. I'm gonna try to speed run this. This was overall a pretty good conclusion of a card, but I will say the prelims were dog shit. However, let's fucking go. Alright, Shama no Shama. We'll get to it. We'll get it. We'll get to it. But without further ado, let's get to the card. Yeah, you know the drill. It's a breakdown of a card. I'm just gonna go through my the fights. I'm gonna go through a breakdown. I'm gonna give you my thoughts and opinions of all the fights that happened. Starting off with Veronica Hardy versus Brogan Walker. I don't give a fuck. Veronica Hardy won, I think 29-28, maybe 30-27. I don't care. I didn't watch the fight. I think I was taking a shit. I might have been having a shower. I don't care. Actually, I think I was building this Lego set right here, actually. You know, now that I think about it. Yeah, you know, just high testosterone level activity things to do, you know? Building Lego sets instead of watching women's MMA. We move on to real fights. Ramiz Brahimaj versus Austin Vanderford. I said it in the breakdown. I don't see what Austin Vanderford does good. You know? He had a good debut against Vretnikov, which we'll get to. But Vretnikov fucking sucks, okay? And this guy's 35 years old. He probably didn't... I don't think he started wrestling or MMA for I think he's only been doing MMA for the last like 3 years of his life. Like, what the fuck are we doing making this guy the favorite against Ramiz Brahimaj, a legit grappler who the only way you really beat him is by out grappling him, you know? And a guy who shoots takedowns against a guy who's got dangerous jiu-jitsu. You know, 1 + 1 = 2, and it turns out I was fucking right. And I made money doing it, alright? I put a 10 on Ramiz, so that turned into a 30. Hey, shout out to Jacob from We Want Picks. He had the lock of the week. You know, he must have took it from my video. You know, he thought it might break down, and he just had to take it. I don't blame him. You know, I don't blame him. But great YouTube channel. Shout out to Jacob from We Want Picks. You know, they helped me get into the sport, so, you know, that's why I'm going to shout them out every single time. But regardless, Ramiz won. He had some problems in round one. Austin was doing well with the takedowns. I think he cracked Ramiz early on, and then he shot a takedown. And they kind of just held Ramiz while Ramiz was threatening chokes. Not really much happened. And then in round two, similar situation, except Austin just shot a takedown. And Ramiz instantly went for the same choke he was practicing in round one. And Austin didn't have any brain cells to adjust to it. He's 35 years old. He's on OnlyFans with a former female UFC fighter. I don't give a fuck about Austin Vanderford. Ramiz gets it done. We move on. This was... Oh, wait, really? Chris Gutierrez was next? Alright, Chris Gutierrez versus Farid Basharat. I thought this was much later on the card. I think in my breakdown, I picked Chris Gutierrez. I don't know what happened. I think I blacked out and I swapped picks because I realized Chris Gutierrez, he might just lose a decision. Because vintage Chris Gutierrez is going to win a 29-28. And this was a vintage Chris Gutierrez. But he just lost a 29-28, you know? So, yeah, at some point on Typology, I swapped the picks. So I got the receipts, you know, if you're curious. But yeah, I ended up going with Farid Basharat. I don't think Farid's all that. Kind of goes from some wild shit. Round 3, he looked pretty gassed. Round 1, he looked pretty good. He was doing well against Chris Gutierrez. Gutierrez just had nothing for him. Farid shot a takedown, I think halfway through the round, got the takedown, laid in full mount. Chris Gutierrez had zero idea how to get up from a takedown, like normal. And then in round 2, Chris was doing well on the feet. Like, he was doing really, really well on the feet. I think he wobbled Farid pretty bad, dropping Farid, I want to say. Did they count? They didn't give him a knockdown. Interesting. I think he maybe just cracked him really bad and then scrambled with Farid and ended up on top, I want to say. But yeah, I thought it was 1-1 going to the second, or going into the third. And in the third round, Chris Gutierrez just didn't go for it. And that's kind of it, you know? Chris Gutierrez is just Chris Gutierrez. He will win if you let him win, which sounds like, well, who the fuck's he gonna do that? You'd be fucking surprised, okay? But Farid Basharat doesn't look like all that. He's got like He's a little bit like a shit Mauricio Huffy. So I don't think he makes it that far in bantamweight, but he beat Chris Gutierrez. We'll see. I'm not gonna hold my breath on Free Bashrat. I don't think the Bashrat brothers are that good. We move on to Man Chasson versus Yana Santos. Oh, this was the coin flip. If you don't know, I coin flip my women's MMA fights. I don't give a fuck. It landed on Macy. Don't know why she was a favorite. I should have went against the coin. However, and the coin we trust, coin went 1-1 on the card. So it's like neutral. So overall, I technically went, what, like 10-2? I'll take it. But regardless, Macy Chasson versus Yana Santos. Macy, she didn't know what she was doing. The commentary was glazing her boxing the whole time, even though she was getting outboxed, couldn't get a trip, constantly getting knee to the body. Yana Santos looked okay, I guess, for a women's fighter. I don't care. Moving on, Punahele Soriano versus Nikolay Vretnikov. I called it in the breakdown. I picked Punahele by decision. I think Vretnikov won his fight against Prado purely because of physicality. In this fight, that physicality was removed. And what I mean by physicality is like the advantage of him being bigger. It was at welterweight. Prado is quite literally a featherweight. That guy should not be touching welterweight. He looked too fat at lightweight and lost the fight. I don't know why he went up a weight class. Retarded. But regardless, Nikolay Vretnikov, I had no faith in this guy. This guy was dumber than a bag of bricks. He showcased that in his fights. He's got questionable IQ, and he showcased that in this fight. Landed a big punch in round 1, and then he got laid on for about 4 minutes. Round 2, he didn't do much, and then Punahele shot a takedown, got the takedown, and then Vretnikov was just getting... He kept on almost getting submitted, and Punahele looked like he was getting too tired. Punahele's not that good either. Like, this was like, Punahele's got very low gas tank. Punahele might not have that pop that he used to have when he was in the UFC KOing people, or before the UFC, I should say. But regardless, Punahele's a bum. Nikolay's a bum. I picked the better bum, and I got it right. So we move on to the Edmund Shabazian versus Andre Muniz. I went with Edmund Shabazian. I went with a club and sub. And you know what? I don't regret it, you know? I thought Edmund could have finished Andre Muniz. I just questioned his KO ability because he couldn't finish Andre Petrosky, and that guy just got smoked by a debut fat fuck. But regardless, I did end up going round 1 Edmund Shabazian club and sub. He just didn't go for the sub. He just went for the TKO. Andre Muniz is 35 years old. He's got no chin. He got TKO'd by Paul Craig. I get it. It was ground and pound, but it's still... Like, Andre Muniz just isn't that good. He's got skills, but he needs, like, an opponent to let him get the skills off. And it felt like Edmund Shabazian, with his protrude ribs, almost had, like, thorns. You know? Like, he almost... Every time he was getting body kicked, it looked like Andre Muniz was, like, shifting stances. Like, I'm not fucking kicking that again. You know? So, his I think Edmund Shabazian's protruded ribs actually did well for him. So, middleweight Jim Miller got it done. I think Edmund's I don't think he's that great, especially after this fight. I mean, he did what he needed to do. I think a ranked test still beats this guy, you know? Like, Kopylov. Actually, Kopylov could beat this guy, you know? RDR, Bo Penny. People like that, I think, probably do beat Edmund Shabazian. But, you know, Andre Muniz just sucks. Cut him. I mean, he's on, what, four fight losing streak, some shit like that. Get him out. Moving on, we have Patchy Cement Mix versus Jakub Wicklax. Some people might call this a robbery. I call this Patchy Mix fucking sucks. I didn't watch Bellator. I don't watch Bella. No one cares. I don't watch Elif. No one asked. Okay? I watch UFC. I watch the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Therefore, I don't know this guy's history. I just hear he's a good grappler. I just hear he's one of the best 135ers on the planet. That's a legit thing. Commentary was saying. People were saying in the build-up to Patchy Mix Mario Bautista. And I gave Patchy Mix a lot of credit for at least, like, stopping Mario Bautista from smothering him. But it turns out, hey, the legendary Polish power carries on, alright? And Jakub Wicklax from Poland, looking like an RDR variant. Maybe he hatched from one of the RDR eggs. Rainer de Ridder, you know, maybe he's getting a little busy in other countries, you know? But, yeah, Jakub Wicklax, aka Bantamweight RDR, got it done. He looked very RDR. If you watch the fight, bro, this guy looks like he does look like the offspring of RDR in his visuals, in the way he strikes, and the way he grapples. He's always going for something. I will say, both, okay, patchy mix, striking, terrible. Still feet stuck in cement. This guy just yaps, can't back it up. He's dog shit. Cut him from the UFC. He's terrible. He's literally terrible. I don't even think he's good enough to be an unranked bantamweight. He's that bad. He is dog shit. Jakub Wiklax at least showed, the only thing Patchy Mix was good at was avoiding getting submitted, and that's about it. That's literally it. Round 1, he was getting pieced up, and then Jakub went for like 3 guillotines, almost had each guillotine. Patchy Mix survived. Round 2, Patchy Mix, I think, was doing a little bit better because Jakub Wiklax had like a cut near his eye or something, laid on top for like 4 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. And then round 3, similar situation, but Jakub Wiklax was piecing Patchy Mix up on the feet, and he was being busier from bottom position, and he was scrambling out, where Patchy Mix was literally role-playing a fucking bum wrestler just laying on top. It was boring, it was shit. Cut Patchy Mix, he's dog shit. I would beat Patchy Mix. I've got 2 months BJJ experience and a year Muay Thai experience. I would smoke Patchy Mix. You give me an octagon fight against Patchy Mix, I might not be able to cut the bantamweight, okay, but I fucking smoke this kid, alright? Jakub Wiklax, this guy's cool. He's got aura. I like the energy he has when grappling. It looks like on the feet, like RDR, he just doesn't want to be there, but it works. He does death gas by the looks of it, you know? If this guy is given any pace, he will die to that pace, you know? Like, I don't... Like, he might be able to, like, submit a Rob Font, but I don't think he'd beat a guy like... Raul Rosas? You know, people who just grapple a lot, or people who can go 3 rounds consistently, I think they give Jakub Wiklax some problems, as long as they avoid getting submitted. So, yeah, I mean, that's the breakdown there. I went with Patchy Mix. This is technically one of the only fights I got wrong. It is what it is. I don't care. Moving on. Patchy Mix fucking sucks. It was the battle of the bums. I picked the wrong bum this time. Moving on, we have Daniel Santos versus Korean Zombie Jr., a.k.a. Yu Ju Sang. Despite him having aura in round 1, it's just too late for him to make a run. This fight was weird. It was catch weight. These guys are bantamweights, and it was a catch weight of 153 because of Daniel Santos with a prepared camp. It was weird. It was very weird. And this, in a sense, was kind of like Yu Ju Sang's debut. Because, like, Jekka Serigi fucking sucks. He's terrible, not UFC level, and got smoked in, like, 30 seconds. Terrible fighter. But Daniel Santos I picked mainly because this guy's like a blender. He's good at everything, and he provides a high pace. You kind of just have to chin him. I didn't think that a 31-year-old just starting to train MMA, trying to avenge Korean Zombie Jr., is going to be able to chin a guy like Daniel Santos. He just moves fast. He's got nice inside-outside boxing. He kept on going for a spinning wheel kick that almost landed. And Korean Zombie Jr., he did his thing. He was ore farming in round 1, looking cool. And round 2, he got cracked pretty bad because he was McGregoring it up. Hands low, get out of the way. Got out of the way a little too late. Got caught, and then he got pretty much put out cold. So it's a rough night for Korean fans. But Korean Zombie Jr., I don't think he's going to be avenging Korean Zombie Jr. anytime soon, you know? I think they're supposed to be bantamweights. They might... Maybe it was supposed to be featherweight? I could be wrong. Yeah, maybe... I don't remember what weight class Jekka is, but yeah. Anyways, moving on. I got it right. I picked Daniel Santos. I think I might have even had him round 2. I think I did have him by finish. I could be wrong, though. I think I did say he might get a finish. We just don't know who this fucking Korean Zombie Jr. guy is. I looked at some of his records. He's beat nobody. Literally nobody. And he's in the UFC. Red flag. Couldn't go with him. I was right to stay away. Moving on, we have Ateba Guitar versus Tristan Vines. This was short notice. I went with Ateba Guitar round 1. I mean, I think everybody did. And he did his thing. He smoked this guy who's apparently a black belt, apparently a Glory Golden Gloves kickboxer, some shit like that. I don't fucking know. Some boxing variant amateur on top of being a black belt. Yeah, he just looked like shit. He got smoked. I mean, it is what it is. He got caught by a knee, dead. Moving on, we have the main card. I am speedrunning this, so, you know, I think I'm doing a pretty good job here. Abus Magomedov took on Joe Pyfer. I went with Joe Pyfer. I did say if Joe got eye poked or groin shotted in round 1, Abus would have won. Now, Abus didn't do that, so I kind of instantly went with Joe Pyfer. And in fact, after round 1 of watching dumb fucking... Oh my god, Joe Pyfer's an idiot. This guy's a fuck... Bo Nickel might actually beat him. Joe Pyfer is retarded. I don't know what goes on in that little pea brain of his. Like, he was shooting takedowns on Abus. I guess he didn't know Abus. Number one, Joe Pyfer said he was going to knock this guy out and send his chin to the heavens. Okay, that did not happen. Number two, Abus has good striking. Not that great, in my opinion. He's a little slow on the feet. But he's kind of mainly a grappler, in my opinion. Like, he's a little bit better at grappling, I'd say, than striking. Joe Pyfer went in there like this guy was a bum, like Abdul Razak Al-Hassan, I think his name is, and tried to submit him early on, and Abus was like, no. Reverse position, laid on top, landing elbows on Joe Pyfer, had him in like a reverse fucking scissor choke, something like that. It would have been, Joe Pyfer would have been literally eating fucking Abus Magomedov's nuts. It was a weird position. Joe was getting fucked up. Easy Abus round in round 1. Now round 2, Abus got cracked. And then he tried to back up. Didn't keep his hands high enough. And he couldn't back away fast enough. And Joe Pyfer found it. Like, when Joe... I hate Joe Pyfer, man. I hate this guy. If he's winning a fight, he'll take rounds off. If he's losing a fight, he'll try to win rounds. And I know that's like oh, that's a good thing because he's trying to win the fight. Kind of. It's just like, there's gonna be moments where it's like, bro, where was this urgency early on? Like, where was the game plan early on, you know? I don't know. It's such a weird... Like, he knew he lost round 1, so he came out guns blazing in round 2, and he ended up getting the takedown after, like, basically it was a club and sub situation with Abus. He just kind of got caught. He got caught, and then Joe Pyfer was trying to finish the fight. Didn't get the finish via standing, so he decided to take it to... I think he got the back, and he was locking in a rear naked choke, something like that. Yeah, it did look like Abus was giving up in round 2. Abus is really, really bad after the 1.5 round mark. You know, he's really, really bad outside of that first round and a half. But regardless, Joe Pyfer is just... He's so unreliable when gambling for. I think his grappling is good, and his striking is good. But he's just so bad at mixing them, in my opinion. Like, it's so difficult to be confident with Joe Pyfer moving forward. But Abus is Abus. Like, this is kind of like what I thought was going to happen. Abus was just going to get slaughtered. He lasted a little bit longer than I thought, I guess. But yeah, Abus is just not that guy to beat Joe Pyfer. You know, there's guys who will beat Joe Pyfer. Abus isn't that guy. And that's what I thought. Got the prediction right. We move on. Josh Emmett, Yusuf Zalal. Little interesting. Kind of thought this was going to go the Lerone Murphy Josh Emmett way, or the Yusuf Zalal Calvin Kattar way, either or. Basically where Josh Emmett just gets his ass beat for multiple rounds where someone kicks and runs away, exactly how Yusuf Zalal won his last fight. But Yusuf went in there and he decided to grapple, and the moment he decided to grapple, he made Josh Emmett verbally tap to an armbar in round 1. After an uneventful like tap, I think it was a tappy low kick, and then it was like, stay away, shot takedown, got the grappling going, almost got a sub, and then Josh Emmett was like, bro, my arm's about to snap. Yo, ref, get this guy off me. Yusuf Zalal's got aura, you know? So Yusuf Zalal got it done. More impressive than I thought he did. I did say that, like, Yusuf Zalal, I do think Yusuf Zalal is good, and he could have finished Josh Emmett if he wanted to. It's just like, when Yusuf... Feel like Yusuf is a guy who's gonna break mentally, and like, he's got all the talent, he's got the skills, he's a hard worker, but if you break him, or if you try to break him, he will break. I think that's kind of how Yusuf Zalal will work. Like, if you start getting a lead on him, he'll just like concede and be like, ah shit, well, I'm fucked. I might as well just like survive, you know what I mean? But you know, close fight with Ilya, in a way. He survived against Ilya, I guess. I think it was his debut or some shit like that, but short notice, something weird with that Ilya fight. But regardless, Yusuf Zalal's got one hell of a win streak. He called out Lerone Murphy I love that call out, regardless if Lerone Murphy fights Volk and then it's Lerone versus Zalal. Whatever happens with that, I would have Volk in that fight. But let's just say Lerone wins. I wouldn't even mind Yusuf versus Lerone. Battle of the boring, whoever's like the shitter one. Even though Yusuf Zalal is way more. Isn't it crazy how the two? It's actually, I just really like, bro. Light bulb, bro. Lerone Murphy, one of the most boring fighters until he just got that spinning back fucking elbow KO on Aaron Pico. Yusuf Zalal, the narrative was being, he's a boring fighter, pussy fighter, whatever, Carlos Olberg wannabe. And then he gets a fucking round 1 submission on Josh Emmett, So, not even Ilya Taporia could do that, guys. So, it's kind of interesting. I'm really interested in Lerone Murphy, Yusuf Zalal. I love that fight. I think that fight would be sick. Very interesting fight. So I think you do that. I think Yusuf Zalal is good. I don't know if he'll be champ. I want to see one more fight. He has been battling the old man. He's kind of taking the Paddy Pimblett route in a way. Just fighting old dudes in the division that have been around for a while. Fair enough. I mean, you got to change the guard at some point. So it is what it is. Yusuf got it done. I picked Yusuf. We move on. Jiri Prochazka versus Khalil Roundtree. You have no idea how hard this hit. This was better than the first jerk off in a week. This was better than crack cocaine. Even though I don't know what that feels like. This was better than... Bro, this did something inside of me, bro. This tickled my balls a lot more than you would think. Oh my god, I've been saying it for so long. Khalil Roundtree is not ranked light heavyweight material. Sorry, he's not one of the big dogs in light heavyweight. People still talk about this guy. And commentary was glazing the fuck out of Khalil Roundtree, pissing me off. But round 1, very clear Khalil Roundtree in my opinion, even though it was kind of uneventful. Round 2, Jiri was doing better, but I think it was... I would have given it to Khalil. Round 3, Jiri was just like, phase 2 activate. Like I said it would happen, bro. I said Jiri was going to get cracked, and the moment he gets cracked, that's when phase 2 activates. Round 2, gets hit by a nice, I think it was a check left hook or something like that, and he fucking switched on. And round 3, oh, you wobbled me? Phase 2 activate. And he fucking went in there. It was a sloppy slugfest, as some would say. But yeah, it was a sloppy fight. Both men put it all on the line. Khalil, I respect his hard work. I respect he's a former fat kid. He's not a top-level UFC fighter. He's just fit, and he does basic Muay Thai shit. That's it. That's it. That's all he does. He does jabs. He does the bop, bop. He does a leg kick, and he does a body kick. And that's about it. Very basic, very generic shit. And he'll hit you with the Muay Thai shimmy sometimes. That's about it. This guy is shit, man. He breaks. He's slow. He doesn't... And I've been saying it, man. People will talk about Khalil like he hits like a truck. Bro, this guy sounds like he hits like a truck. I told you guys, he does not. This guy's pillow-fisted hands. And Jiri was eating shots to the forehead in round 2. Literally, fucking prime Jiri fucking headbutting jabs, bro. Let's go for that. Jiri got it done. It hit like crack. I orgasmed. I may be sweating in round 3 when Jiri was, getting sloppy, getting into... Bro, and I said it too. I called it perfectly. Round 3 KO. I don't think I went into specifics on why I said round 3 KO, but I did pick a round 3 KO. And it was just like, bro, you cannot beat Jiri. You have to have different level power, which we'll get to. But you have to have that plot armor power. Khalil don't got it. Alright, so Jiri got it done. Very happy for Jiri. Let's go for that. I love it. Anyways, God, it was so good. Might not be KO of the year. Probably my favorite KO of this year. Maybe since I've been watching the sport. It was just so nice, bro. When he fucking landed that left, and then Khalil got hit, and this fucking gum shield came out, and he fucking went out. And it hit like crack. Anyways, moving on. We have something probably not a lot of people like, but everyone expected. Merab beat Corey Sandhagen. There's people who will beat Merab. Corey's not that guy. O'Malley did better in the first fight. Yeah, this was just Merab all day, every day. Almost finished Corey in round 2. Probably could argue they should have stopped the fight, to be honest. But other than that, there was not really an eventful moment. It was maybe a 10-8 in round 2. It was a Merab. 4-1, I had it scored. I think round 1 was Corey's. 2, 3, 4, and 5, I scored for Merab. 10-8 in round 2. Corey was fucked. And in round 5, when he was doing well, and we were slowly seeing Merab have like a shittier round 5. The moment Corey started doing well, he's like fainting and fainting and fainting and spinning wheel kick that miss, and oh, there's 10 seconds and faint and faint and 5 seconds. This is it. I'm gonna be a world champion. This is it. I'm gonna be. Oh, time's out. Well, drats. Well, back to reading Shakespeare, boys. Well, back to making office skits for YouTube. Shit, guys. Like, it's just. It wasn't going to be Corey's fight, you know? And that kind of sucks, but... yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I picked Merab by decision. Merab got it done by decision. He could have finished him. I think, like, Merab's not really improved. I don't know. He always does something really well. Like, his striking was terrible in this fight. But his takedown ability was better. Where in the O'Malley fight, his striking was a little bit better. And his takedowns were a little bit worse, but he got the submission. It's a weird thing with Merab, but Merab does Merab things, so Merab gets it done. The guy's invincible. I don't think anyone fucking beats him for a while. He's the bantamweight GOAT, and I think it's going to be like that for a while. He might even get to, like, Demetrius Johnson level of title defenses at some point, you know? He might be in the GOAT conversation in the future. Moving on, we have Magomed Ankalaev versus Alex Pereira. Hey. Domino Shama. Alex got it done. It's never felt better than to be wrong on a prediction, boys. Violence is back. Jiri got it done. And the only man to shut off Yuri's lights is the man himself, Alex Poatan Pereira. He hits different. It's an Alex era. What can I say? It's an Alex era, bro. God damn, there's a good argument Alex might be the best fighter of all time. Best combat athlete, for sure, in my opinion. He was able to go through multiple weight classes and multiple different orgs. I think he's better than Cejudo in terms of accomplishments. I don't give a fuck about Olympics. That shit's rigged anyways. Alex Pereira, I think, is genuinely the best combat sport athlete. Now, he might not be the best MMA fighter of all time. He's the best combat sport athlete. Accolades, re-getting the belt. And it makes it even better. This is prime Ankalaev. Prime Ankalaev against old Pereira. Old Pereira. Could you imagine if Pereira was 33 right now? John Jones would be shitting his pants. He probably still is shitting his pants after that performance. Alex, in the start of this fight, he had a different level of energy. He had, this is all or nothing type of energy. I wasn't expecting it. I don't think a lot of people were expecting it. This guy came out like, I'm going to kill this kid or I'm going to die. And if I die, so be it. And he ran in there, instantly started with the pressure. Not like his dumb first fight where he went for a fucking flying front kick. Alright? He came in, went for a right hand over the top. Ankalaev like got stung a little bit, backed off, and now Ankalaev's on the back foot. And these guys are counter strikers. And Ankalaev was... This is where Pereira improved, man. Ankalaev was like, oh shit, I'm down right now. I need to get something going. He went for something. And Pereira just hits fucking different. He caught him on the way in. And to be fair, Ankalaev could have caught him, right? Now Ankalaev back down to the B leagues, baby. Oh, what's that? Oldberg #1 contender? Is that an Oldberg #1 contender I see? Fighting Khalil Roundtree, coming off a loss, I see. You know? Oh, man. Oh, it does feel good. The Jiri one for me, I just got perfect, so that's why it is different. The Pereira one is nice. And I think if Pereira was to win, it was going to be by KO. I'm very happy for Pereira. I'm back on the Pereira train. What can I say? This guy don't fucking lose. Now, if he fights Tom Aspinall, we might need to talk. But if this guy gets 3 belts, UFC GOAT? UFC GOAT? If he gets 3 belts at the age of 38 years old, I know John Jones ain't doing that. Just saying. I know John Jones ain't being able to do that. All right. So, you know, I don't know. It's just, yeah, Ankalaev got fucking smoked. And to be honest, they should have called the fight way earlier. And Herb was trying to give Magomed Ankalaev. This is what I mean, man. They try to give Ankalaev every type of advantage. This was outside of Ramadan Ankalaev, and he got smoked, by the way. This was fully hydrated. This was full HP. Prime Ankalaev, who just got smoked by a 38-year-old Alex Pereira, coming off a loss. Alex Pereira is king, bro. He's the king of Rio. He just hits different. But yeah, that's been my breakdown of the whole card. I felt like I did it justice running through it. Overall, pretty okay card. I think I went 11-3 overall. Removed the women fights, 10-2. Yeah, okay card, I guess. I'll be breaking that in the next card. Next week, I do have my birthday. So, I don't know how many videos I'll get up, but I'll try to get up enough for the boys. But, yeah, stick around, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if you made it all the way to the end, appreciate you watching, making it all the way to the end. And as always, I hope you have a good day.